Hello and welcome back to Music Rewind. It's spooky season, so we're going to be looking at some music conspiracy theories. These aren't theories I personally believe in, but I do find them quite interesting, so let's begin. Trigger warning though, we do talk about sensitive topics like suicide, so if that's something that you find hard to listen to, jump to these time codes and you will skip those theories. The first one, we do talk about it, so if you want to go to number 2, click to this time. Theory number 1, is Lady Gaga a murderer? Lady Gaga has touched on the concept of horror and death many times, especially in the beginning of her career. The Fame Monster talks about it, she kills her lover in Paparazzi, a diner in Telephone, herself on stage and in John Wayne, and a lot of people on American Horror Story. However, is she a real-life felon? The theory states that Lady Gaga was connected to a young performer called Lena Morgana. Lena was also signed to Sony, and Lady Gaga apparently became her backup dancer or sang backup vocals and wrote on a track she released called Wonderland. On October 4th, 2008, Lena, who was only 19, died after she jumped off the roof of a 10-story hotel in Staten Island. However, the theories surrounding her death have been circulating for a decade now. Some deny her existence, some say she's not dead, or it was because she was under psychic control of the Illuminati. However, the main theory around is that Lady Gaga murdered her and stole her identity. There is a memorial page that's run by Lena's aunts, and she says, "We, Lena's family, do not believe she had any intention to die. We, as a family, do not believe Lena committed suicide." The theory reached quite a high status that it was reported by Forbes, The Mirror, and The Sun. Apparently, the paparazzi video, which features Lady Gaga being thrown off a balcony and falling to her death, is a confession of her crimes. However, where I debunk this theory is that Just Dance was released in April of 2008. By this time, Lady Gaga was performing at venues, gaining popularity, and had her image already sorted. Plus, Just Dance had already reached number 1 in Canada in August of 2008, and the Fame was released the same month, which was weeks before Lena's death. So I think it's unlikely Lady Gaga would have a motive to kill off a rival when she was already on the rise. It's truly unfortunate what happened to Lena, but Lady Gaga isn't involved. Lena's music is available on her website, so go give it a listen. She was very, very talented. Theory number 2, Paul McCartney is dead. Paul McCartney was part of the biggest band that has ever existed, the Beatles. They are the holy grail in music when it comes to groups, and their legacy is unmatched. I believe nothing will match what was Beatlemania. Unfortunately, John Lennon and George Harrison have since passed, but rumor has it, Paul died long before they did, when they were still at the height of their fame. This theory is so big, it has its own Wikipedia page, and even Paul has spoken up about it. In 1967, a rumor started circulating that Paul McCartney had died in a car accident in November 1966, and he was replaced by a lookalike. The person he was replaced with won a Paul McCartney lookalike contest. But why has this theory still continued even after 55 years? Well, there are apparently some clues that were left purposefully in by the band for their fans to know the truth. The album cover for their record Abbey Road is an iconic cover. In the artwork, the 4 members are walking across a zebra crossing on Abbey Road. However, some see it as a message. In fact, some fans think it's a funeral progression. John Lennon is in front dressed in white, symbolizing a heavenly figure. Ringo Starr is dressed in all black, symbolizing the Undertaker. Paul is following them barefoot, symbolizing the corpse. He's also holding a cigarette in his right hand, despite Paul being left-handed, indicating the man in the photo is an imposter. And behind him is George Harrison dressed in all denim, symbolizing the gravedigger. Further evidence was the license plates of the car, a white Volkswagen Beetle, LMW 28IF. People think this is a sign because they think the LMW stands for Linda McCartney Weeps or Linda McCartney Widow, and the 28IF is said to state that Paul would have been 28 if he had been alive. There's more to unpack with this theory, so there will be a solo video on the Beatles coming up that will further dive into this. But to debunk this theory, the concept for the Abbey Road cover was sketched by Paul himself. He's barefoot on the cover because he said himself, "It was a very hot day and I happened to be wearing sandals, so I just kicked them off because it was so hot and went across barefoot." Paul McCartney parodied the theory on the album cover for his live album called Paul is Alive. Theory number 3, Avril Lavigne is a clone. Another big urban legend is that Avril Lavigne passed away in 2003 after the release of her debut album Let Go. The theory states that just like Paul McCartney, she was replaced by a body double called Melissa Vandella to continue the product that was Avril Lavigne, because she was the biggest artist in the world at that time and the label wanted to continue making more money. Evidence that this theory is true is because Avril's appearance from 2003 until now has drastically changed. Her second album, Under My Skin, has some subliminal messages in the songs and cover art, and her music has drastically changed in sound over the years. The cover art of Under My Skin has an X on her, and the title is also suggestive as Melissa's under Avril's skin and pretending to be her. And there are some songs like My Happy Ending and Together. The latter song has the lyrics, "Something just isn't right, I can feel it inside. The truth isn't far behind me, you can't deny. When I turn the lights out, when I close my eyes, reality overcomes me, I'm living a lie." Now to debunk this theory. Avril Lavigne was 18 when she released her debut album. She's obviously going to change physically because of a little thing called puberty. Her albums are going to sound different. Artists are inspired at different stages of their lives, and so they will change it up. Taylor Swift went from country to pop. It does not mean she's a clone. Avril herself has said this rumor is very much false. Theory number 4, the last one, Nicki Minaj is Jay-Z. Let's finish off with a lighthearted one, and maybe one that will make you laugh, but some say Nicki Minaj is actually Jay-Z. Now, I'm not saying Jay-Z is into drag and created a character that is Nicki Minaj, but apparently Nicki Minaj provides the image and Jay-Z provides the rapping. Now, how have people discovered this? Well, apparently if you slow down a Nicki Minaj song, it sounds like Jay-Z. However, where we debunk this theory is common sense. We have seen Nicki Minaj do live a cappella sets.
Cause we A-listers, we pay sisters, just watch right here, them face blizzards. I confess I woke up like this, I was drinking my cup like this, all this ass on that flawless dick, Instagram another flawless pic.
And also, when you slow down a female voice, it will sound more masculine, just like if you speed up a masculine voice, it will sound feminine. An example is Adele and Sam Smith. As we've seen before, if you speed up Sam Smith, it will sound like Adele, and if you slow down Adele, it'll sound like Sam Smith. Not because one is actually singing for the other, but because they have similar songs and similar tones, so they will sound similar. Not 100% identical though. So Nicki Minaj isn't Jay-Z, Jay-Z isn't Nicki Minaj, although it would be funny to see Jay-Z in drag. And that's it for you guys for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe and tell me below, are there any music conspiracies that you have that maybe next Halloween I'll do a part 2? I really hope you enjoyed this sort of content, and I'll be sure to see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.